Hello, this is Gary at Jack Raven Bushcraft. Thank you for watching our video. As you'll be able to see behind me, around me, we've got snow. It's quite an unusual event in Kent in the southeast of England, but we do from time to time get a little bit of snow. And so I thought I'd take the opportunity just to talk a little bit about staying warm in the winter, specifically around the layering system. So the layering system is probably something that, even if you've not heard of the term, it's probably something you do anyway without even being conscious of it. So we wear lots of layers of clothing. So for example, we could wear one very, very thick jumper, but we're likely to get more, stay warmer by wearing a few thin jumpers. So this is the basic kind of theory premise of the layering system. So we have three layers in broad terms. So we have a base layer, a mid layer, and an outer layer. So base layer, that's the one and right at the closest to your skin, probably is the easiest way to describe it. So it's the first layer of clothing that you're going to put on. So think about a vest or a t-shirt, that kind of thing. And then we're going to go for a mid layer. And so again, just to put some context around it, so just think about a shirt or a jumper. And then we have our outer layer, so think coat, that kind of thing. So base layer and mid layer are predominantly about insulation, whereas the outer layer is really about protecting you from the elements, primarily. So today I've got let me see, so I've got a merino wool t-shirt here, I've got a merino wool jumper, and I've got it's a merino wool hoodie as well. Now that's not quite the whole story actually. So the layering system doesn't mean that you only wear one base layer, one mid layer, one outer layer. It could be that you have your vest on and then a couple of jumpers, which is in fact what I've got going on under here. I've got two merino wool jumpers, both really thin. But merino wool is definitely the way forward this time of year. Super insulating, and it's also soft and it's nice on you, so it doesn't irritate your skin. So yeah, as I say, you don't necessarily have to just go with one of each layer. You can double up on them. So you could go with this, a couple of mid layers, a couple of base layers, and then your outer layer. Now this is a reasonable outer layer. This one I'm currently wearing. It is wool. It's mostly waterproof. Also has a windproof liner. So as I said, the purpose really of your outer layer, it's about protecting you from the elements. So it's about protecting you from, and in the UK, more often than not, it's going to be about protecting you from the wind and the rain. So it needs to be waterproof. It needs to be windproof. Now, so far I've just kind of really talked about my top half of my body here, or my kind of torso. You could of course do the same or apply the same layering system to your legs. So potentially you could be wearing some long johns, as we used to call them in the old days. You could have a pair of long johns on, and again you can buy those in merino, and it is definitely my favourite. And then I'd have my trousers here, probably working as an outer layer, but potentially if it was really raining I might want to put on a pair of waterproof trousers, and that would be my outer layer. So at the moment they're just kind of serving as a mid layer, I guess. Footwear, I typically kind of go with one pair of socks. If it's really cold, I will sometimes put on a very, very thin pair of merino socks first. At the moment I'm wearing what have I got on at the moment? These are goat socks, mohair goat hair socks. They're really, really warm. Be careful with socks though, that you don't put so many on that you can barely get your foot into your boot. What happens if you do that is basically everything's going to be so compressed there won't be any little air gaps in there to warm up. So you're basically reducing the insulation of what you're wearing. So make sure that there is a little bit of room going on, especially with footwear. Gloves, I got my Hestras on today, and these actually these do to an extent go with the layering as well. So these have got a felt liner going on, a removable felt liner if you so wish, and then a kind of the outer bit. Hat, actually it looks colder here than it is at the moment. It's probably about 3 or 4 degrees. If it was much colder, I suspect I would be putting my hat on. There's this kind of myth that goes around that you lose half the heat from your body through your head. That isn't the case. You lose the same amount of heat through your head as you would proportionately through any other part of your body. It's just that the rest of our body is nearly always covered up and our head isn't. So proportionately, it's still a big area, so you can still lose lots of heat through your head. So it is still worth popping a hat on if you think it is required. So as I say, guys, just to kind of reiterate that layering system: base layer closest to your skin, mid layer on top of that. Their primary purpose is to provide insulation, and for me that's all about wool. And then you've got the outer layer, that's about protection, and it's protecting you from the elements, from wind and rain. So hopefully that is of some use to you as you are going to be off out wandering around in the colder months of the year. For me, bushcraft in the summer, actually it can often be quite straightforward. It's when the weather is inclement, whether that be snowing or raining or windy. It's when the weather is inclement that you're really going to find out whether your bushcraft skills are going to work or not. So when it is like this, get out there and if, well, clearly not right now because we're under lockdown, but ordinarily when the weather turns, and then you're able, go out and give these things a practice. So yeah, in the meantime, guys, we shall be getting some more content out hopefully in the next week or so. It'll be on our YouTube channel, it'll be on our blog. Subscribe to make sure that you don't miss out. In the meantime, take care, stay safe.